Hi, family. I had not planned on coming on today to do any video. I've been actually taking a break and just taking time first, spending with family, and taking time to listen to God on what He's doing in 2025, where we are, where He's taking us. So I hadn't planned on coming on until 2025, but today, just in listening to the Holy Spirit and spending time with God, He began to share this with me. And this is something I know it can't wait until 2025 because it pertains to 2024. And what I want to share with you is there are some of you who maybe God gave you a promise. And His promise was that in 2024, He was going to do a certain thing for you. There was something He was going to do in 2024. And you're looking at the days and you're looking and seeing that, hey, we only have a few days left and it hasn't happened. So God, what's going on? You promised this in 2024. And this is not for individuals who, like, God, please do it in 2025. I want you to do it. This is specifically for individuals who know that God gave you a promise of something happening, that He would do something in 2024. As we're going through these last few days of 2024, do not get discouraged. If you're sitting there and you're like, God, I know you promised this to me and it hasn't happened. God, I know what you told me. You told me in 2024 this was going to happen. And here we are a few days away and it hasn't happened. Let me tell you this. Don't get discouraged. First of all, God does not operate on our timing. We can get discouraged because we're basing things on factors that we see, on our timing, on the way we process time. God does not see things the way we do. So God can show up at 11:59 with your promise on December 31st, and it's done. God can show up December 30th at 10 o'clock a.m., and it's there. God can show up December 31st at 11 o'clock p.m., and boom, the promise has been fulfilled. So if you're waiting for a promise, a promise that God said, 2024, this is what I'm doing for you, do not get discouraged. There's still time. God is a God of suddenlies. When God speaks a thing, it happens. He can do things instantly. And this is something I want to share with you. And this is something where God had to check me within the week, when it comes to waiting on promises. And, we can have faith. God, I know you can do this. I know God can do this. But there's a difference in having faith and actually having faith with expectancy. And when He checked me. He said, you have the faith. You have strong faith. But you've been lacking the expectancy part. You've been walking around speaking the word. You know I can do it, but you haven't been in expectation of it. And when He shared that with me, it checked me. And it put me in a place where I was like, you know what, God, you're right. I haven't. I know you can do it. And I know what you said. I know what you promised, but I really hadn't been expecting. So my encouragement to you, if you're waiting for something to happen in 2024, if you're waiting for a promise that God said would happen in 2024, today, start walking in not just faith, but expectancy. Each morning you wake up, God, I thank you. Wake up on your mind. God, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. God, you promised me this, even if you have to say it. God, I'm standing on your word. This is what you said. This is what you told me. And I know you are not a God who lies. God, I know what you told me. I know what you spoke to me about what was happening in 2024. Be in expectancy and start preparing yourself. These next few days, begin to walk in what God promised you. So If it's that he promised you a new job or a new home, begin walking in it as if you already have it now. Don't continue walking in the, oh God, I know you can do it, but let me just live like I've been living. No. Start walking in that thing. Whatever he promised you, start shifting your mindset. Adjust your mindset to prepare for what he said he's going to do in 2024. There's still time left. This is not the time to doubt. This is not the time for you to start questioning God or questioning your faith. But this is the time to go hard and stand strong on what God promised you. You know, when you say, oh God, I know you can do this. I have faith that you can do it. That statement is true. And it shows that you do have faith because you know God can do it. But when you say, God, I know that you are going to do it for me, it puts a different layer on it. God, I know you can do it versus God, I know you're going to do it for me. That's faith with expectancy. So as you continue going through these next few days, I think we have about 3-4 days until we hit 2025. If God has promised you something in 2024, if he has spoken to you that 2024, I'm doing this for you. 2024 ain't over. We still have time. God can do whatever he wants to do when he wants to do it. 3-4 days, that's plenty of time for God. Like I said earlier, he can show up December 31st at 11:59 p.m. with your promise. So have expectancy. Don't lose faith. Keep believing, keep trusting, because God always comes through.